I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome to another book chat. Today I want to share with you the 3 best books that I read this year, and only one of them is a new book, but I'm going to give you 3 and then I'm going to give you 2 honorable mentions. So the very first book, and I'm sure you've all guessed by now that it's one of the best books I've read this year, is The Fave, The Untold Lives of Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. So this is about the lives of the woman that Jack the Ripper killed. If you've seen the video I did, I will put the link down below. It's a fascinating book, and it is definitely a mind-changing book. So go and get this. It's really, really cool. It's The Fave, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. It is not a Jack the Ripper book, people. It is about the women he killed. So if you're expecting grisly gore and blood and slashed this things and that things, no, this is not what that is about. Excellent book, Hallie Rubenholt, one of my best. The other book that I really enjoyed this year, very old book by P.D. James. It's called Death and Holy Orders, and I like this book because it's got a very strange kind of feel to it. The story has some people have actually criticized this book heavily because the main protagonist is actually like a pedophile, and he actually gets off quite lightly at the end of the book. I won't give anything else away, but a lot of people have criticized it. But I just feel that this book, while you're reading it, and it's quite a read, it's quite a slog. You can see it's quite a large book. There's just this slight sort of undercurrent of unease that runs right through the story. So if you're into that sort of slightly off-kilter book that you're not quite sure what's happening, this P.D. James Death and Holy Orders, this is definitely one of them for you to read. Old book. And the other old book, it's even older than the P.D. James book, one of my absolute favorites, and I do try to read this once every couple of years. It's by Gerald Durrell, and it's called My Family and Other Animals. And this is probably one of the funniest books I've ever read, apart from the Tom Sharp books. But this is absolutely brilliant. This is about when Gerald Durrell was a young boy. If you don't know who he is, go and look him up. He was a young boy in Corfu, in Greece, and that's how him and his family and his poor mother, the mother, how they all kind of went to live in Corfu, and it's all about all the animals and how his sister freaks out and how his brothers are very naughty, and they adopt these puppies. And it is the most hysterical book. It's such a good book that I guarantee you, if you buy this, you will read it every year. You'll read it and read it. It's such a good book, and this is my copy. As you can see, it is incredibly well read. It's one of those old books, and I actually think I bought this secondhand maybe 12 years ago, so it's a really cool book. Okay, so those are the 3 best books that I've read this year, easily available books, and awesome. Now I'm going to give you 2 honorable mentions, and these are books that I read this year. The first one is by Matthew Lewis, and it is called The Monk, and this is it's kind of about this monk who kind of loses his faith and is tempted by the devil and does all kinds of wicked things. But it's a lot more than that. It's quite a deep book. Excellent book, The Monk. Okay, again, easily available online. And I will put a link down below for you of, in fact, all of these books where you can get them. I haven't done reviews on this, but it's a really, really good book. Something that you should really read. It's very old though. It was published in like the 1700s. Written in the 1700s. And then, of course, the second honorable mention, and the last book is actually 3 books in one, and it's by Enid Blyton, and it's called The Wishing Chair. The Wishing Chair Collection, okay? There are 3 books in this collection. This is a book from my childhood that, oh God, the nostalgia factor. And I read this again this year, all 3. It's very easy read. It looks like a big thick book, but it's actually 3 children's books kind of combined into one. And this book just takes me back. So anybody who was an Enid Blyton fan or who read these in childhood or had them read to them, this is such a blast. Again, easily available. I'll put the links down below. And that is the 3 best books with honorable mentions that I have read this year, 2020. Let me know below which are your favorite 3 books that you read this year. And maybe let me know if you've read any of these. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you soon for some more book chat.